I'm sure it could. I'm sure it could. Alrighty. I cannot find anything this morning. Huh. Alright. Give me 1 second. Alright. Okay, you guys, we are in Leviticus this morning, chapter 16. I am waiting to see if a few more people join. A lot of times for Bible study, people come straggling in. I'm going to share it out to a few more friendlies. And if you could share it out, that would be great too. Sent it out to a few more. Also, if you are a friendly and you'd like to come up and hang out with me this morning while we do Bible study, you can do that. Just put in a request. Let me go ahead and check and see if YouTube started okay. I don't have a theme song for my Bible study. I do need to get to work on that. Thank you for the heartbeat, Ken. I appreciate it. Good morning, YouTube. I see we've got a couple of viewers over on YouTube. It's really funny because some weeks I will have 30 to 40 people in here, and other weeks I struggle to get 3 people in here. Maybe people are getting sick of Leviticus, but we've got to get through Leviticus in order to get to Exodus. Numbers, not Exodus, Numbers. Got to do that before we can get to Numbers. Well, hopefully somebody will join that will come up and sit with me, because I hate doing Bible study all alone. I'm sick of this. Yeah, me too. Leviticus, I'm sick of this. The algorithm is a cruel mistress. It's ridiculous, I tell you. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate it. I have a little gift goal this morning. It is 1 coin each, but I don't know if everybody has. Oh, it's not 1 coin each. This one's 99 coins each. It's because I'm trying to do a campaign or something, and they tell you what gifts to pick and stuff. All right. Well, if nobody is going to come up, yeah, you are a poet, pen and paper. I guess I will begin reading Leviticus. If we have questions along the way, please ask them in chat. Otherwise, this will get very boring for me very quickly. When you're asking the questions in chat, I do have an iPad here. I also have the Jewish Study Bible Tanakh translation, and we use that quite a bit to understand certain things in the text. Hey, Stokesky, how are you? So, questions we can answer. We can do that. Again, if you are a friendly and you want to come up and hang out, put a request in and you can hang out with me, because I hate being alone. All right, here we go. Chapter 16. The Lord spoke to Moses after the death of 2 sons of Aaron. When they drew near before the Lord and died, the Lord said to Moses, "Tell your brother Aaron not to come just at any time into the sanctuary inside the curtain before the mercy seat that is upon the ark, or he will die. For I appear in the cloud upon the mercy seat. Thus shall Aaron come into the holy place with a young bull for his sin offering and a ram for burnt offering. He shall put on the holy linen tunic and shall have the linen undergarments next to his body, fasten the linen sash, and wear the linen turban. These are the holy vestments. He shall bathe his body in water and then put them on. He shall take from a congregation of the people of Israel 2 male goats for a sin offering and 1 ram for a burnt offering. This is a point where I would ask Rabbi Bert, is there anything, hey Schley, do you want to come up and hang out with me? Is there anything significant we need to know here? But, Bert's not here today. So let's head over to the Jewish Study Bible and see what it says about Leviticus 16. Come on up, Schley.
Hello. Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks for having me.
Stoutsky, we are in Leviticus chapter 16. All right. Is my fan too loud when you're down in chat? Can you hear it really loud?
I haven't noticed it.
Okay.
Oh wait, now that you said it, I can hear it a little bit, but I think it's fine.
Okay, because it gets so hot. I really have to have a fan on me. All right, 16. What do we say about 16? Why don't I find anything about 16? Okay, here we go. Purging the tabernacle annually. Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, okay. The preceding chapters have established that sins and bodily impurities. Oh, I should just turn a light on. That might help my blind ass. I was like, this is really hard to read. Well, I didn't have my light on.
Why is this so hard to read? Why can't I see
what's
the
wrong
page?
with me? Okay. Okay, let's go back. The preceding chapters have established that sins and bodily impurities contaminate the tabernacle. Regular atonement for unintentional sin and the routine eradication of impurity eliminate as much of both types of defilement as possible. Yet since not all unintentional wrongs are discovered and not everyone is diligent about atonement, a certain amount of defilement remains. In particular, deliberate crimes which contaminate the inner sanctum where the divine presence itself is said to dwell. Okay, here's my problem with this is, why are we such a contaminant to this God? If he created us and he created us in his image, why are we so filthy to him? Why are we, just our mere presence is a defilement?
Yeah. Imagine making something so beautiful like you and me and then being like, ew, gross, get away.
Right. And because you've even dared to be in my presence, now I have to have you like kill some animals. What? I just don't like, the more I go through the book, the more I listen to people in the deconstruction community and stuff, the more I just realize, God, this shit is so ridiculous and so far-fetched. What the hell? Like, I just don't understand how we're such a, so repugnant to the actual creator of us. Then how is he a perfect creator if we're so repugnant? Good morning, AK. Did you want to come up and hang out with us tonight? Hey, Jesus, had it coming. Good to see you. Good morning, everybody. All right. Anyway, he's repugnant in my book, but that's okay. Aaron shall offer the bull as a sin offering for himself and shall make atonement for himself and for his house. He shall take the 2 goats and set them before the Lord at the entrance of the tent of meeting. And Aaron shall cast lots on the 2 goats, and one lot for the Lord, and the other lot for Azazel. Traditionally rendered a scapegoat. Aaron shall present the goat on which the lot fell for the Lord and offer it as a sin offering. But the goat on which the lot fell for Azazel shall be presented alive before the Lord to make atonement over it, that it may be sent away into the wilderness to Azazel. So let me look that up. And oh, hey, good morning, Cyber. How are you? Good to see you. Okay, let's see what it says about Azazel, because that seems to be a very specific type of thing. Let's see. The annual purification, which we'll briefly alluded to in Exodus, is to be performed on the 10th day of the 7th month. Elsewhere, this day is referred to as Yom HaKippurim, often translated as Day of Atonement, with the verb kippur, atone, being used in the sense of decontaminate. This day is found only in the priestly calendar of sacred time. Sanctuary purification rites are known in the ancient Near East outside of Israel, the biblical Day of Atonement. While unique in its conceptual and ritual complexity and its non-demonic view of defilement, shares with them the specific ritual aim of decontaminating the sanctuary. It also, however, brings about a sort of purification of the Israelite people, since the thorough eradication and disposal of their sins and impurities serves as a personal and communal catharsis. Further, the people have a role in the process. It's not even talking about the Azazel. I wanted to talk about the Azazel. I'm going to Google it.
Is that supposed to be a place or the name? Like what? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know either right now. All it says, like my little notes, that or scapegoat. It looks like name that refers to either a demonic figure associated with wildlife.
Also, this is just like my brainless thoughts at the moment, but like, do you think all this purification and all these rituals had anything to do with the fact that they just didn't have like plumbing and couldn't shower? Like, was everybody, because everybody had to smell bad, right?
Right.
And so, like, to prepare, you know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense, or is that just a dumb thought that I had? Because I'm just,
I don't think that's a dumb thought.
I can't imagine being so filthy that I have to do like, I mean, my showers are a ritual, I won't lie, but you know.
I mean, look, the people were not a clean people, so much so that there's even a chapter in there where God is like, you guys keep shitting around your camp, and I walk through your camp, and I don't want to step in your shit. So can you put your shit over here? You know, like, what? We needed a chapter on how and where to put our shit?
I mean, maybe if Yahweh gave them plans for a toilet in the first place.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Stotsky.
Hi. Yeah, I'm looking it up, and Encyclopedia Britannica says that Azazel is generally referred to as like a Jewish legend, a demon or evil spirit to whom, in the ancient rite of Yom Kippur, a scapegoat was being sent for the sins of the Jewish people.
Yeah, here's a little bit more about it. Meaning, Azazel might mean desolate place, rugged cliff, or complete removal. The Hebrew root azal, to go away, supports this. And the implication is that the goat isn't going to a being, it's going into complete banishment. Azazel as a supernatural being, meaning a desert demon or rebellious spiritual entity. The basis from this is ancient Jewish tradition. First Enoch 8 and 10 describes Azazel as a fallen angel who taught humans forbidden knowledge and was cast into the wilderness. Some scholars think this fits the idea of sending the sins back to an evil power. The implication, the ritual is both purification and a symbolic rejection of demonic forces. Azazel as a symbolic figure, meaning a personification of sin, chaos, or the realm outside God's order. The basis, the wilderness, often represents disorder and death in biblical imagery. Implication, sending the goat to Azazel is sending sins back to the realm of chaos. Rabbinic Judaism, Mishnah, and Talmud often lean toward Azazel being a rugged cliff. The goat was pushed over to ensure it never returned. The Septuagint Greek translation translates Azazel as the sent away one, avoiding the demon reading. Christian tradition often emphasizes the scapegoat as a type of Christ bearing sins away, while generally not treating Azazel as a literal demon. First Enoch and Dead Sea Scrolls explicitly portray Azazel as a power-fallen angel punished in the desert. Why this matters in Leviticus: the Day of Atonement is about purging impurity from both the people and the sacred space. The two goats deal with sin in two complementary ways. One addresses sin before God through sacrifice. The other removes sin from the community entirely, sending it away into a symbolic place of no return. That's pretty interesting.
I mean, that just makes me sad. You know, like
Yeah.
sad for the goats. God dang. But also sad for, yeah, like obviously these people viewed themselves as so like just lowly, and that that's what they were. It was symbolic of what they were deserving of. Ugh.
Yeah, you know, I think one of the problems with the Bible and religious teachings like this in whole is that they conflate being humble with self-deprecation, like little self-hate, you know? And I think you can be a humble person and love the fuck out of yourself.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm pretty self-deprecating a lot of the time, but I would like to get better about that. Oh, I'm brewing coffee. Can you hear it?
Yeah, it sounds yummy. Make me an iced coffee.
I will.
I don't, you know, I used to think there was a problem with self-deprecating humor because I thought that was an indication that somebody looked down upon themselves. But actually, I don't really think that anymore because I do it just because it's fucking funny. It
It's
just
so fun.
is.
It's so fun because, like, I used to take everything so seriously, and it's my way of, it's one of the ways that I think you can just stop taking everything so seriously, including yourself.
Guys, my glasses just broke. And they're my favorite glasses.
No.
I just don't think
I have that
wear
feeling.
them.
My current glasses are just in a pile because I lost one of the screws to them because I sat on them, so I had to bend back, and so I took out the screws and I lost one of the screws. I'm like, no. But thankfully, I have an older prescription that works about as good. It's just that further distances I can't see things as clearly. So
Yes, can somebody do a faith healing? If you're a Christian and you want to have God magically fix my glasses, I would dig that. I know I could buy more on the TikTok shop, but I don't want it. So I'm gonna wear some ugly glasses right now until a Christian heals my other glasses. I have ugly glasses I'm gonna wear right now. Okay. All right.
you're
There we
ugly.
go. I don't know. I don't like them as much as my clear
Cute.
ones. Okay.
I feel like they have a time and a place. Like if you want to go to a formal thing, like, but like I think they look fine. So
Thank you. Okay. All right. Well, this is what I gotta wear right now in order to see because I really cannot see. Okay. Let's see. So we're done with Azazel here. Where did I leave off? Okay. Aaron shall present the bull as a sin offering for himself and shall make atonement for himself and for his house. He shall slaughter the bull as a sin offering for himself. He shall take a censer full of coals of fire from the altar before the Lord, and 2 handfuls of crushed sweet incense, and he shall bring it inside the curtain, and put the incense on the fire before the Lord, that the cloud of the incense may cover the mercy seat that is upon the covenant, or he will die. And then there's a little footnote here, or treaty or testament, it says. So, covenant, treaty, or testament. He shall take some of the blood of the bull and sprinkle it with his finger on the front of the mercy seat, or the cover, it says in my notes. And before the mercy seat, where is it telling me that? And before the mercy seat, he shall sprinkle the blood with his finger 7 times. So, more blood rituals, but you guys, it's not really a blood cult, okay? I don't know why you think that.
oh,
Not true.
the holy, what is it? Communion isn't like ritualistic cannibalism. Darn.
Not. You don't get it. And it didn't start with a bunch of blood either. I mean, there's just some blood everywhere. All the time.
I was about to say, it seems like it's a lot more than just a little.
It's everywhere all the time, you guys. Okay. He shall slaughter. I can. If you guys want me to look anything up, just let me know. If you have any questions or commentary, Stoats and Schley, let me know. If you guys are in the comments and you have questions, and let me know. No, I don't think Jesus was a vegan. He shall slaughter the goat of the sin offering that is for the people, and bring its blood inside the curtain, and do with its blood as he did with the blood of the bull, sprinkling it upon the mercy seat and before the mercy seat. Thus he shall make atonement for the sanctuary because of the uncleanliness of the people of Israel, and because of their transgressions, all their sins. And so he shall do for the tent of meeting, which remains with them in the midst of their uncleanliness. No one shall be in the tent of meeting from the time he enters to make atonement in the sanctuary until he comes out and has made atonement for himself and for his house and for all the assembly of Israel. Then he shall go out to the altar that is before the Lord and make atonement on its behalf, and shall take some of the blood of the bull and the blood of the goat and put it on each of the horns of the altar. He shall sprinkle some of the blood on it with the finger 7 times, and cleanse it and hallow it from the uncleanness of the people of Israel. I mean, like, if God hates you, who could be with you? Like, you know how it says, if God is with you, who could be against you? Is God really, like, with him? He thinks they're just, like, such dirty, you know, low-life people. That's what he thinks of them. And he needs so much blood to make up for the fact that he thinks that they're degenerates.
It seems like they wasted a lot of perfectly fine food to me.
They did. But don't forget, Aaron and his kids get to eat a lot of this too. We've talked about that. They get a lot of the food, and they get a lot of the skins and stuff. So in reality, what we're seeing is the first mega pastors, okay? Because they get a lot of this for themselves. It's not all just burnt up. It's like, and then you get to have that portion, and you have to eat it in the sanctuary, but this you're going to eat over here, and then you guys get to keep the skins. And
I have a song for this from Joel.
You do?
Ready?
Yeah.
Hey kids, this is crazy. I just finished reading Leviticus 16, and I took a verse and I put it to music. Check it out. The bull for the sin, the goat for the sin, whose blood was brought in to make atonement.
You guys can find that on Joel's page. Anyways, I think
Yes, Joel Reads Bible. You guys, make sure you're following Joel Reads Bible, and go check out his YouTube also. I keep seeing his children's songs pop up, and they're just amazing. I love his little hat. I
they're
love
my
the way he's like,
favorite. The way he
freaking
holds
cute.
the ukulele like it's a hot potato.
Yes. He is great. Okay. When he has finished atoning for the holy place and the tent of meeting and the altar, he shall present the live goat. Then Aaron shall lay both his hands on the head of the live goat and confess over it all the iniquities of the people of Israel and all their transgressions and all their sins, putting them on the head of the goat. Okay, I'll finish and then I'll ask my question. And sending it away into the wilderness by means of someone designated for the task. The goat shall bear on itself all their iniquities to a barren region, and the goat shall be set free in the wilderness. How come Jesus didn't get to be set free and run into the wilderness? But that wasn't really my question. My question is, did he sit there and list out every sin?
And then, like, how is it transferred? Like, is he, like, blowing it? I mean, I guess they're, like, using their hands. So
Yeah, he was blowing the goat.
I just looked this up. This is literally where the term scapegoat comes from. It's Leviticus 16.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But I
It's
literally-
thought he meant, like, you know, putting his hands.
Yeah, I know you did. He was putting his hands around. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I know. Like, how is he? Jaron, come on up here and hang out with us for a little bit. You never hang out with me, and I'm adorable, Jaron.
Transfer.
Yeah, like how, I mean, this is ridiculous. But, you know, now I'm going to look it up. I want to know, okay. Tell me about Leviticus 16, verses 20 through 22. How did Aaron confess all the iniquities? Did he have a list? Or did he just sum it up as, you know, any of the lies, any of the stealing? I mean, like,
Or
how
did
did
he
he do that?
I mean, because it's God. So you could just be like, you know what they did.
And how did the sins transfer to the goat? Like, did he blow the goat?
That was not what I meant to say.
Okay, yes, I'm using ChatGPT. Don't
Maybe
judge
it
me.
depended on, you know, like how long they had that day. If the guy was like, oh, I need it to be a quickie. Maybe he was just like, God, you know what it was. You know we're shitty and terrible, and then that's it. But otherwise, if he had a lot more time, then maybe he just went down the list.
Okay, here we go. Probably how it worked, okay? According to the Mishnah, Yoma 6:2, the high priest would recite a set confession. O Lord, your people, the house of Israel, have committed iniquity, transgressed, and sinned before you. Forgive, please, the iniquities, transgressions, and sins which your people, the house of Israel, have committed, transgressed, and sinned before you, as it is written in the Torah of Moses. So he's not reading them all out. He's like, so, you know, like,
It all
that's
makes
just lumping
sense.
it together.
Yeah, it makes sense. See, there's loophole for why they had to continue to do the ritual all the time, because obviously it didn't cover everything and they had to redo it.
Ah, okay. So when it says confessed over all the iniquities, what they're saying is that it means he covered all the categories: intentional sins, unintentional sins, rebellious acts, not an itemized list. The ritual action was laying both hands on the goat's head, simika, or I hope I don't think I'm saying that right. Semikhah, Semikah, which was unusual. Most sacrifices used one hand. Why both hands? It emphasizes a complete transference of guilt and impurity for the entire community. Okay, before I continue, I used to work at Denny's long time ago. Like, that was one of my first jobs. And one time some guy called in and he was like, hey, guess what I'm holding in my hand? And I said, oh, if it doesn't take at least two hands, I don't want to know. And I
Hell yeah, you did.
and then another time, I don't know, maybe same guy, I don't know, called in and said,
So what I'm hearing here is that God doesn't want to itemize receipts.
no, I guess not. Another time a guy called in and said, hey, what do your panties look like? And I said, oh, I'm wearing my granny panties today, and there's like a big, huge hole in the butt. And then he hung up. I don't know. They didn't really like my sexy answers.
Who's calling Denny's like this? What is going on?
No, they just did. And I thought, fuck them. I'm going to troll the troll. Okay, back to, okay. How did it transfer? In biblical thinking, spoken words and physical touch could symbolically shift the burden from person to animal. The goat became the bearer. Okay, so it's saying symbolic, but in Christian theology, we would know that that wasn't symbolic, that they really believe if I'm touching something and I'm in the temple and I'm shedding blood, as I speak, all of the sins literally get transferred to that animal, you know? Good morning, Flav. Do you want to come up and hang out with us? We're doing Bible study this morning. We're in Leviticus chapter 16. Was there any blowing, breathing, or whispering into the goats?
Listen, that's what I want to know. I don't know why I need to know.
The Torah doesn't mention blowing into the animal or blowing the animal. In some later Jewish mystical traditions, there's imagery of whispering sins into the goat's ear. But this isn't in the biblical text or earliest rabbinic law. The official action was place both hands on the head, speak the confession aloud. The goat symbolically takes on the sins. What happened after? A designated man, ish iti, meaning man ready, would take the goat far away into the wilderness. Okay, so there you have it. Okay, well, I hope you have a good rest, Fluff. You guys, if you're not following Fluff Skidoo, what are you doing? What are you doing? She is brilliant. Okay. I don't even remember where I left off. When they finished the whole, where did I leave off, you guys? What were we just looking at?
You were talking about them laying hands, but are you talking about the verse? Because I don't know.
I'm on 23, right? Because we went through 20 through 22. That's why we were looking it up to find out if he blew the
Yeah, that's sounds right.
Blue on.
Okay, blue on. Okay. Then Aaron shall enter the tent of meeting, and shall take off the linen vestments that he put on when he went into the holy place, and shall leave them there. He shall bathe his body in water in a holy place, and put on his vestments. Then he shall come out and offer his burnt offerings and the burnt offerings of the people, making atonement for himself and for the people. The fat of the sin offering he shall turn into smoke on the altar. The one who sets the goat free for Azazel shall wash his clothes and bathe his body in water, and afterward may come into the camp. The bull of the sin offering and the goat of the sin offering, whose blood was brought in to make atonement in the holy place, shall be taken outside the camp. Their sin and their flesh and their dung shall be consumed in fire. The one who burns them shall wash his clothes and bathe his body in water, and afterward may come into the camp. What is them with burning dung? I posted a funny like YouTube meme. Wait, let me see if I can find it, because the comment, it was so ridiculous when somebody said to me, I was like, what are you even talking about? I said, point of view, you just read the Bible verse where Ezekiel eats bread he cooked over shit, okay? And the comment is, people still use it to cook with. And my reply is, I'm still not fucking eating it. What the fuck? Like, I don't care. It was gross then, it's gross now. What are you talking about? We actually know how feces, bacteria can get on things just from you going to the bathroom and having your toothbrush in the same vicinity. I'm not eating from over it. It's 2025. I have more education. I don't need to eat over shit. What the hell? These people are weird. They will excuse any weird behavior.
I don't know. Like, how did that start and why?
Right? So weird. You don't need to burn shit. Like, that's gonna just stink up the whole temple.
There had to there had to have been another resource to use.
You would think. This shall be a statute to you forever, which doesn't actually mean forever because it's not still happening, okay? In the 7th month of the 10th day of the month, you shall deny yourselves and shall do no work, neither the citizens nor the alien who resides among you. For on this day atonement shall be made for you, to cleanse you from all your sins. You shall be clean before the Lord. It is a Sabbath of complete rest to you, and you shall deny yourselves. It is a statute forever. The priest who is anointed and consecrated as priest in his father's place shall make atonement, wearing the linen vestments, the holy vestments. He shall make atonement for the sanctuary, and he shall make atonement for the tent of meeting and for the altar, and he shall make atonement for the priests and for all the people of the assembly. This shall be an everlasting statute for you, to make atonement for the people of Israel once in the year for all their sins. And Moses did as the Lord had commanded him. So am I correct in that this is Yom Kippur now? That's what they celebrate? I'm going to ask.
I think this is talking about Yom Kippur, or whatever it is. Because I remember in the Zazel, it talked about Yom Kippur. So.
Yeah. Yes. Yom Kippur didn't exist as an annual holiday before this chapter. By the Second Temple period, the ritual described in Leviticus 16, especially the 2 goats and the high priest entering the Holy of Holies, became the centerpiece of Yom Kippur. The goat for Azazel part you were asking about was only done on Yom Kippur, never at any other time of the year. Sorry, hang on. So in the 2nd century, this is how this changed at the Second Temple version. The ritual gets more elaborate. Crowds gathered in Jerusalem to watch parts of the ceremony. The scapegoat was taken out through a special gate. To avoid the goat wandering back, it was pushed off a cliff in the Judean wilderness. The high priest wore simple white linen instead of golden garments symbolizing purity. He said the divine name of God allowed the tetragrammaton, and the crowd fell on their faces. The Mishnah Yoma records detailed scripts for the confession. Let's see. After the temple's destruction, Yom Kippur shifted from a temple ritual to a synagogue and personal prayer focus. No more goats for sacrifices. The themes of Leviticus are still atonement, repentance, and cleansing. The service now includes kol nidre, annulling personal vows from the past year, vidui, I don't know, vidui, a public formula confession of sins in the plural like Aaron's prayer, and nel ilah, the closing prayer as the fast ends at sundown. So a little different and not forever. We're going to do it totally different in the future because the temple doesn't exist. Forever doesn't mean forever in the Bible. All right, you guys. Next up,
Are you
the
telling me
slaughter of
words?
animals. What?
Are you telling me words don't mean words? What? No.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. All right, now we're going to go to the slaughter of animals, and if we can make it through this short chapter, we get to go on to sexual relations, okay? All right, the Lord spoke to Moses, speak to Aaron and his sons and to all the people of Israel, and say to them, this is what the Lord has commanded. If any one of the house of Israel slaughters an ox or a lamb or a goat in the camp, or slaughters it outside the camp and does not bring it to the entrance of the tent of meeting to present it as an offering to the Lord before the tabernacle of the Lord, he shall be held guilty of bloodshed. He has shed blood, and he shall be cut off from the people. This is the order that the people of Israel may bring their sacrifices that they offer in the open field, that they may bring them to the Lord, to the priest at the entrance of the tent of meeting, and offer them as sacrifices of well-being to the Lord. The priest shall dash the blood against the altar of the Lord at the entrance of the tent of the meeting. I keep adding articles and stuff. And turn the fat into smoke as a pleasing odor to the Lord, so that they may no longer offer their sacrifices for goat demons to whom they prostitute themselves. This shall be a statute forever to them throughout their generations. And say to them further, any one of the house of Israel or of the aliens who reside among them who offers a burnt offering or sacrifice and does not bring it to the entrance of the tent of meeting to sacrifice to the Lord shall be cut off from the people. Well, now I want to know about this. Why is this so important?
I'm hung up on people prostituted themselves to goat demons. What?
Yeah. What verse one was that again? So that they may no longer offer their sacrifices for goat demons. Goat demons. Okay, what the fuck? Let's look that up.
It's because of the horns.
What's the goat demons in chapter 17 of Leviticus? Goat demons refers to pagan deities or idols that the Israelites were forbidden from worshiping or sacrificing to. Ooh. Okay, I'll be right back. I just need a drink real quick. It's right around the corner.
I better get it. That's true. That's true. I get it now. Guys, while we wait for Crystal to come back, go ahead and tap the screen and share the live. Consider giving a gift for Crystal today. And let's help just keep the live going. That was better. That was a better commercial.
I just appreciate it no matter what. Okay, here we go. In the Jewish Study Bible, 3 laws are communicated to Moses. The prohibition of common... Oh, I think I need to turn this fan down. Even if it's not loud, I think it's tickling me too much, like with my hair. It's making me itchy. Okay. 3 laws are communicated to Moses the prohibition of common or profane slaughter of domestic livestock, the prohibition of sacrifice outside of the tabernacle, and the prohibition of eating any blood. That's a verse that Joyful likes to use to talk about how Christians, pick and choose what laws in Leviticus that they're going to follow, because they will eat like a rare steak, but say that, being LGBTQIA is wrong or a sin.
Regarding why I think it uses the word prostitution, it seems like there's some consensus out there that it's talking about like a spiritual idolatry. So like you're like worshiping other gods is bad. Like, it's kind of like we're all like God is trying to like condense his power. In some regards, like, no, you only worship me now.
Right.
In that it's like kind of wrong to do it otherwise. I think that's what it's talking about, it seems. So
I agree.
that's probably why that word is used.
So, I might butcher this thought, but because isn't it true that a lot of these people were pagan, and then the like Christianity came into, and like they were simultaneously worshiping the other gods and Yahweh at the same time? I've heard that before. So like, was this their way of saying, no, none of that, no more of that, like those are false gods kind of thing?
Yes. Okay, so in the ancient Near East, people, even the Israelites, believed many gods existed. And then when Yahweh became, people like to say he chose the Israelites, but the reality is he inherited them. Okay, when he inherited them as his people, he said, like, yeah, I know other gods exist, but not for you anymore. I will be your one and only. And so this is them making that covenant to him. You will be our one and only God. But they did believe in other gods, that they existed. And unlike Christian, like I was taught, there literally was no other gods. Any other gods were just made up. They did not believe that they were just made up. They just believed that they weren't to worship them.
Whoa, that's interesting.
And there's a word for it, and I would get it wrong if I try to. I mix it up with another word.
Polytheistic? Or
No, hang on one second.
Like omnitheist?
What's the word where you believe in many gods but you only worship one? Starts with an H. Henotheism.
Oh, right.
Henotheism is the worship of a single supreme God that does not deny the existence of possible existence of other deities that may be worshipped. Okay, so all 5 sections are thus concerned with proper disposal of the blood of the slain animals. They derive from let's see, I forget what the JEPD, I forget what the P is, but P's view of the commands given to Noah, given to Noah and his descendants in Genesis 9, 1-7, and they supplement the laws of sacrifice in chapters 1-7, the dietary laws given in chapter 11, and the laws of purification. Okay. To Aaron and his sons and to all the Israelite people, as the laws commanded here require specific activity on the part of the priest, Aaron and his sons are singled out. But the laws in the chapter apply to the people as a whole. Ox or sheep or goat, since animals from the herd and flock are fit for the altar, they are considered as belonging to God. Thus, according to this law, the Israelites may not simply slaughter domestic livestock for food. They are required to offer them as a sacrifice of well-being. So what I'm picturing here is that people were like, okay, I don't want to like go waste this and give this up to the temple. So you know what I'll do is I'll just slaughter the cow that we're gonna eat, the next month anyway. We'll slaughter that. We'll do that as our sacrifice, and then we can still have dinner and food for the next month or whatever. And God is like, nope. No, when you do a sacrifice, it has to be worthless and be wasted, and nobody gets to like, you don't get to use it for food. That would be ridiculous while there's hungry people sitting around. No, we're not doing that. Instead, just waste it on me. Let's see. They are required to offer them as a sacrifice of well-being, after which they may partake of the offerer's share of the flesh. So they do get to eat some, it looks like. Blood guilt. He has shed blood. In P's view, until the time of the flood, it was capital crime to shed the blood of any animal. Thereafter, it was permissible as long as the blood was not ingested. Now that the tabernacle has been erected, Israelites may slay sheep and cattle for food only as well-being offerings. If they fail to present the animal as an offering, it is as if they had slain the animal in an antediluvian period when such an act was considered murder. Shall be cut off. These 3 verses are spoken only for Moses' ears, and they provide the actual rationale for the prohibition. Wait, what? When did that happen? This is in order of Israelites may bring the sacrifice which they have been taken to open. May bring them to. I don't see that. Okay, I don't know what they're talking about there. Where does it say anything that it was only for Moses' ears? It says verses 5 through 7, but I don't see anywhere in there that it indicates that. So I'm not sure what the study Bible here is referring to.
Is it referring to 2, where it says that like you speak to Aaron, and then in verse 8 it says then tell everyone? Is that the reason why?
See, maybe.
Let me pull it.
Let's go to.
Okay. So in verse 17:2 it says speak to Aaron and his son, and it says and to all the Israelites. Oh, yeah. Never mind.
It's kind of weird, but I don't know why it's saying these 3 are spoken only for Moses' ears. I don't see that though. Anyway, Priestley believed, P is Priestley, I'm sorry. Priestley believed that the worship of the Lord began with the establishment of the Israelite cult in Sinai. Now remember, this was called a cult. Like it was called a cult. At Sinai, and until then the Lord was never worshipped. The stories of sacrifices in Genesis and the first part of Exodus, such as those offered by Cain and Abel, by Noah after the flood, and by the patriarchs, all belong to the non-priestly material. Heretofore, any slaughter of domestic livestock has been meaningless, in the open, in the rabbi's phrase, profane, or common slaughter, that they may offer their sacrifices no more to the goat demons. Conceptually, however, the non-sacrificial slaughter of domestic livestock actually is a sacrifice not to God, but to demons thought to inhabit the open fields and desolate regions. Now that the tabernacle cult is established, any further activity of this sort is an unpardonable sin. So that is why, Schley, because, thank you so much for the heart me. So they're saying, like, when you just sacrifice like that, you don't do it at the temple, you don't do it for Yahweh with purpose, your sacrifice is going to demons.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Even if they were meaning it for Yahweh, like,
yeah,
it doesn't matter what their intention was. What a picky, snotty, pretentious, mean girl of a God.
How else do you think the church is gonna get their cut? Come on, guys. No.
Hey, Thad, if you want to come up, come join us. We're just doing Leviticus Bible study in chapter 17. You know, as a mom, as your kids are growing up, they often give you gifts and things or do things for you that if any other human being did those things, they would be considered ludicrous, maybe trash, horrible, whatever. But it's your kid. And your kid tries to make you an ashtray even though you don't smoke. Or your kid makes you a picture out of macaroni noodles and you can't even figure out what it is, right? But oh my God, what a treasure it is because your kid did that for you. Yeah. And this God goes, fuck you. It's not good enough, little Johnny. What the hell? Do it the right way or don't do it for me at all.
And also go to hell.
Yeah, and also go to hell, burn forever. You're a horrible person. Okay. If anyone of the house of Israel or of the aliens who reside, I just can't see today. All right, let's try that again. If anyone of the house of Israel or of the aliens who are residing among them eats any blood, I will set my face against that person who eats blood, and will cut that person off from the people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you for making atonement for your lives on the altar. For as life, it is the blood that makes atonement. Therefore I have said to the people of Israel, no person among you shall eat blood, nor shall any alien who resides among you eat blood. And any one of the people of Israel or of the aliens who reside among them, who hunts down an animal or bird that may be eaten, shall pour out its blood and cover it with earth. For the life of every creature, its blood is its life. Therefore I have said to the people of Israel, you shall not eat the blood of any creature, for the life of every creature is its blood. Whoever eats it, it shall be cut off. All persons, citizens, or aliens who eat what dies of itself, or what has been torn by wild animals, shall wash their clothes and bathe themselves in water and be unclean until the evening. Then they shall be clean. But if they do not wash themselves or bathe their blood, they shall bear their guilt. We've talked about this before, that obviously that blood, they thought that blood was, the life force. And that is why blood was important in sacrifice. That is why blood is so prominent in this religious cult. But it's also like we now know that's not true. Hey, Rabbi, how are you? I'm going to invite you up. But this is, like I said, the verses that Joyful Apostate likes to use to show people that you're like picking and choosing in Leviticus if you believe that like a person, who's LGBTQIA is a sinner because you believe those Leviticus verses are about man shall not lie with man or whatever. But in the same aspect, you will eat a rare steak or even a blue steak. So I know people who will eat a blue steak, which is where it's like barely warmed up on the grill, and they will say, no, it's not the same. It's not really a lot of blood in there, but God says you will have none. Don't eat it.
Yeah, well, doesn't it, like what you just read makes a case for veganism in my view. Like, yeah, you would think they would not eat any meat.
Yep, I agree.
Does that mean that maple syrup would also be bad?
Ooh, yeah, that could be a blood, huh?
What a horrible God. No.
I know, I was going to see, steaks aren't really bleeding, that's plasma, but Joyful went in and did some research to find out, like, how much blood or, you know, whatever is in like a rare steak or whatever. Anyway, you'd have to talk to him about that. That's his argument, not mine. But he did find out that there is blood that is still significant unless you cook it off. And his point is they don't cook it off, you know, and yet they just, let's face it, they pick and choose, and they pick and choose by using hatred as their, you know, pointer. Oh, this seems hateful. I'll say that's a sin. Okay. You guys, we get to do sexual relations now, okay? So, I mean, we don't get to do it, but, I mean, you can, but just leave, okay? Like, okay. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the people of Israel and say to them, okay, really quick, let's, as we read through here, this is about sexual immorality, if I'm not mistaken, okay? We're going to learn all about sexual immorality. Let's find out, oh, Rabbi Bird is here. Let's find out how many times, or how, if they bring up fornication or sex with children being a sin. Okay, let's see if that occurs, okay? Good morning, Bert. We are in Leviticus chapter 18.
Oh, good.
All right.
What a wonderful part of the Bible. No.
All right. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying,
Which
speak
verse?
to the people of Israel and say to them, I am the Lord your God. You shall not do as they do in the land of Egypt, where you lived. And you shall not do as they do in the land of Canaan, to which I am bringing you. You shall not follow their statutes. My ordinances you shall observe, and my statutes you shall keep following them. I am the Lord your God. You shall keep my statutes and my ordinances. By doing so, one shall live. I am the Lord.
Is that
Okay,
verse
sorry.
5?
That was verses 1 through 5, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to double check where we're at.
So can I ask you a question about this? What if you're an Israelite and you are in the land of Egypt? Are you still not supposed to follow their statutes?
That's an interesting question.
Because
Because there
Christians
is a
like to
rule that
say
comes
you're
later
supposed to
called-
always do that. When Jesus said, pay unto Caesar what is Caesar's, that small thing that Jesus said, Christians like to say that means that you are always supposed to obey the laws of the land. But I
So
believe
it's-
God is saying, nah, you're not. You're supposed to follow my law, and it doesn't matter what the laws of the land are. My laws supersede them.
So I think it's more like chukotai. You could translate as laws, but you could also say like customs. Yeah, like so. Like in other words, it might be saying like, first of all, like just a semantic range. It means laws, and it also can mean customs. So like one way of understanding it is like don't follow or don't do the customs, the customary things of the Egyptians. That's one way of understanding the text as well.
Okay.
So like I don't think it's I think, and frankly I think that makes more sense, especially since like Jews also have a similar statute of like Dina Malchut Dina, which is like the law of the land, like you should follow the law of the land, and that any of the Jewish laws that are in contradiction to the law of the land that you're living in should be followed.
Hey, Stoats and Schley, while Bert is up here, did you guys have any other questions about the chapters we just read on Azazel, on Yom Kippur, or anything like that?
I'm good. I don't have anything else.
Is there anything
tons
you
of
would
stuff
like
to
us
talk
to
about
know, Bert, about Azazel or Yom Kippur? Is there anything you want to share with us that we should know?
Mhm. Great. So this is a text that we read on Yom Kippur, and the text of Azazel is like it is
Autism.
a desert goat. Yeah, no, whatever. It's just pronunciation. But like the idea of a desert goat demon is a pretty cool thing, pretty wild, and it is supposed to make you remember that life is chaotic and that everything is up to chance. And so, like, it's not often that they use these kind of divination features, and so by casting lots, they are demonstrating that, like, who shall live and who shall not, is that's a central theme of Yom Kippur, is that, like, it can happen at any moment, at any hour, and so, like, rehearsal for that moment is important. In other words, like, remembering that moment. Um, and then the other thing is, in 1712, I always, like, wonder, like, how Christians are able to, like, do the Eucharist.
Yeah, I would wonder that too.
It says, no person among you shall partake of the blood, nor shall the stranger who resides among you partake of blood. So, like, what the heck is going on? Like, clearly a misunderstanding, or like a complete rejection of, like, you don't consume the sacrificial blood.
Right. And I think that Christians like to feel like Jesus was persecuted, when in reality, the church leaders were like, what the fuck are you doing? And clearly, we're not supposed to do these things. And you're saying you are? We are supposed to eat you and drink you? What are you talking about? Like, and they never look at it as people going, that is completely against what we believe,
Yeah, but that's how supremacy works.
Yeah. Good morning, Ursme. How are you?
Oh, I'm kind of under the weather today.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
So I'm just doing a bed rot day basically, but I got my plywood for my floors and some more sheetrock, so that's good.
Oh, nice.
That got delivered. Yeah, but oh yeah, I was gonna get my dictionary. That's right. I need to get all my books right next to me at some point.
I need a new bookshelf. I'm gonna have to get one this week because I need to get all my books and put them somewhere. All right, we are in chapter 18. We're going to be going over the sexual relations, and our task today is to find out where, for sexual immorality, where does fornication and P3DOism lay in these verses. Let's see if we can find them, shall we? Okay. I believe I read 1 through 5 already. We're going on to chapter 18, verse 6. None of you shall approach anyone near of kin to uncover nakedness. I am the Lord. Say, nobody you're related to. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father, which would be somebody you're related to, which is the nakedness of your mother. She is your mother. You shall not uncover her nakedness. Can you, oh, he's teacupped right now. I want to understand why the nakedness of your mother is your father. But we'll continue when that's okay.
What'd you say?
Why?
Yeah, what'd you say?
Why does in verse 5 it say verse 7 it say you shall not uncover the nakedness of your father, which is the nakedness of your mother?
The Hebrew is more clear. It says ervat avicha, like uncover your father, ervat imecha. Nakedness of your father and nakedness of your mother. Lo tigale imecha he. Like, I think it's you can you only understand it because I wish you knew trope, but like basically the emphasis is on the ending of the sentence. So, like, nakedness of your father, nakedness of your mother, do not uncover it.
Okay.
it reiterates about the mother. Imecha hi lo tigale irvatach. Like it re-emphasizes about the mother. I think implying like don't look at your father, don't look at your mother, but really, really do not look at your mother.
Because your father owns her, and so you're also hurting property.
I don't see that in the text, but I think it's more about like prescribed relationships, and it will like it's about establishing like what acceptable relationships exist, and actually the Mishnah goes on a long tangent about this as well, and like explains like who can be in the same room together and that sort of thing, and yeah.
You shall not uncover
Because
the
even after
nakedness of your. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just like in the Mishnah law, like you are not allowed to be in the same room as your mother alone when you're married.
So weird. That is weird. But I will tell you something funny about that. In my first marriage, I had the weirdest mother-in-law ever. Oh my God, she was so weird. Anyway, one time I was laying in bed next to my husband, we're watching TV. I was pregnant with my first child. And my mother-in-law comes in and sits down and gets out lotion and starts massaging my husband's feet.
Nope. It's a hard nope.
She
It
really
was very weird.
in front of you? That was
Yeah.
weird.
And
Wait,
I was,
did you guys live together?
yeah, she lived with us. We were taking care of her. She was elderly, and so, but she wasn't so elderly that she didn't know what she was doing. I was like, this is weird, and I think you're both weird.
And by the way, the commentary says that uncovering is a euphemism for the next step.
For doing it. It's for doing it, you guys. They're doing it. Okay. I'm so mature, Humbert.
It's just interesting. Okay, we'll get there because it goes to yeah.
Yeah. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's wife. It is the nakedness of your father. Now, I want to point this verse out for a reason because I really, really, really hate when Christian men come on and tell me that, that it was equal between women and men. Obviously, this man's allowed to have not just your mother, but another wife. He's not talking about your mom here. They're talking about any other wives your dad has. Don't fuck them. Men were allowed to have many wives and concubines, and women were just property.
Just to be clear, the reality was that most people didn't. Like, polygamy was not a frequent or common thing, but something that happened in upper echelons of society. So this might be a reflection of, the priestly class being privileged class. Not that I think that that polygamy should be a privileged thing, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Right,
reflective
no.
of a certain class of society.
You shall not uncover the nakedness of your sister, your father's daughter, or your mother's daughter, whether born at home or born abroad. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your son's daughter or of your daughter's daughter, for their nakedness is your own nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's wife's daughter, begotten by your father, since she is your sister. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's sister. She is your father's flesh. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister, for she is your mother's flesh. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's brother. That is, you shall not approach his wife. She is your aunt. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your daughter-in-law. She is your son's wife. You shall not uncover her nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your brother's wife. It is your brother's nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. And you shall not take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness. They are your flesh. It is depravity. And you shall not take a woman as a rival to her sister, uncovering her nakedness while her sister is still alive. But when she dies, she's free game. So far, not seeing anything saying that there's an age of consent or that there's consent. Anything like that. Or that that's important.
I will say though, like, I mean, like, well, two things. One, like, I don't think any of these things are disagreeable. Like, I think these are probably pretty good guidelines at absolute least. And then secondly, like, this is a sick joke, but it is like a thing. Like, you don't make laws for things that weren't a problem.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think like it's look. Never mind.
So it was like it was like Alabama up in there, is what you're trying to tell me.
I imagine
It
that,
was like the deep South.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Well, I don't know that it is necessarily that way, but like, I think that if you have to make prohibitions for things, like, unless you're Trump, in which case you just make laws for whatever the hell you're feeling on a particular Tuesday.
Anybody on the panel have any questions or other comments or anything, or shall we move on?
I just noticed how there was so much about women, and you can't look at her, you can't look at her, like literally just don't look at anyone as how any women. That's how I took it. But is there like something I'm missing with that?
Well, they're relationships. Like it's like it's against incest.
Right.
Like it's saying the family, extended family. Ultimately, I think cousins end up being okay, which is pretty weird, but also that was pretty normal up until about 100 years ago. So,
But not step family.
no step family. Well, that's the thing. There's no such thing as a step family because people can have multiple wives. So, like,
Well,
that
that's what
also,
I'm
that's
saying.
saying,
To me,
yeah,
they're
saying
just step
that's
family.
prohibited also. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's also prohibited. Whoops.
All right. You shall not approach a woman.
Bibles is weird.
You
What's weird
shall
about
not.
prohibiting step? Wait a second. Wait, you think it's weird to prohibit relations between step siblings?
No, I said Bibles are weird. Yeah, Pillick. Say it again, girl.
What did my live broadcast on YouTube stop?
I'm not on YouTube, so I don't know. I don't know. Sorry.
Oh, okay, wait. For some reason, it wasn't coming up for me. Just checking. There's 2 people watching, but no questions. Okay, moving right along. Hey, Grandma Zana, you want to come up, hang out with us? We're just doing Bible study this morning.
If my dog will stop, maybe. I was gonna.
Okay, well, we'll mute you so that I can go ahead and continue reading. Okay. You shall not approach a woman to uncover her nakedness while she is in her menstrual uncleanliness. You shall not have sexual relations with your kinsman's wife and defile yourself with her. You shall not give any of your offspring to sacrifice them to Molech, and so profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. You shall not lie with a male as with a woman. It is an abomination. You shall not have sexual relations with any animal and defile yourself with it, nor shall any woman give herself to an animal to have sexual relations with it. It is a perversion. So if I stop right there, I want to bring up a point that I think that Schley was making, and I'm seeing it like a little more clear right here in this section. I feel like God is just talking to men here, because why now are we suddenly saying, oh, and a woman don't do this too? Like
That's
before
it's a Calvin. it's called a Kal Vachomer, where one principle is derived from a lesser principle, where a greater principle is derived from a lesser principle.
So you're saying the text is discussing both men and women, but it just appears to us that it's only referring to women?
No, I'm saying that the conclusion is saying that should you have thought that this only applied, can you please, yeah, sorry, that it's should you have thought that this only applied to men, you should also apply the inverse as well.
Interesting.
Okay. Ursmay, go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Oh, I think it might be quiet enough now. Sorry about that. I
That's
was
okay.
just gonna ask if there are any instances that anybody knows about where, well, you know how in where's the story of Lot's daughters?
Genesis.
Genesis 19. Anyways, I'm just wondering if any other lines were cursed if it was the reverse, not the kids essaying the parent, but the parent essaying the kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm just wondering if anybody knows of any instances where it was the father doing it.
I don't think
And
there's
was that
anywhere in the
line
Bible.
cursed? Was that line also cursed? Is what I'm asking.
I don't know of any instance in the Bible where an adult essays a child and then a line is cursed. Do you, Bert?
I'm thinking, the only thing that's coming to mind is like that Judges 19 text of the Levite man, but I don't think that's a child. I don't think that's like their child. So
Yeah, I don't know of one where it's their child.
My theory with the Lot's daughters story is, of course, like I think men wrote this book and made it up, and of course he's not going to incriminate himself. I suspect that it was him that did the abusing instead of the daughters, but that's just my theory on it.
That's
maybe
a good point.
the point of that story though is to like, it's not even about that so much as it is about making ripping on Moab and Ammon, like the kingdoms. It's like a diss track against those comparable kingdoms. Like it's, do you know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
It's like the Israelites were going, hey, we don't like these people, so we're going to make it so their story came from incest.
Exactly. It's like a diss track.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Do not defile yourselves in any of these ways, for by all these practices the nations I am casting out before you have defiled themselves. Thus the land became defiled, and I punished it for its iniquity, and the land vomited out its inhabitants. But you shall keep my statutes and my ordinances, and commit none of these abominations, either the citizens or the alien who resides among you. For the inhabitants of the land who were before you committed all these abominations, and the land became defiled. Otherwise the land will vomit you out for defiling it, as it vomited out the nation that was before you. For whoever commits any of these abominations shall be cut off from their people. So keep my charge not to commit any of these abominations that were done before you, and not to defile yourselves by them. I am the Lord your God. So, it says not to do it because the land will vomit you out, and you're defiling the land. But why isn't it saying God will vomit you, or that you're defiling God there? Why is it changed to the land there?
Because the whole point ultimately is their connection to the land. Like it is, that is the ultimate promise. That's like the ultimate thing, and the ultimate concern is the totemistic connection to the land.
Okay, so as we finish chapter 18, I would just like to point out that we've read through sexual immorality and what are the laws by God, and it does not say that you cannot have sex before marriage. We know women can't. We understand that. We understand we are property owned by our fathers. We can't defile ourselves because we devalue ourselves. But men who sit here and say that they are not allowed to have premarital sex, that is not biblical. And again, nowhere did it say what the age of consent is. So nowhere does God say, don't have kids.
Well, to be clear, this is not helpful and certainly not making it better in any way, shape, or form, but it does distinguish. The word is isha, which means woman. So there is an implication of womanhood, and the question is what makes a woman. And I'm not, I think, unfortunately, that definition biblically is, I think it is defined, but it is not a.
I think it's defined as when she flowers, which, something
Well,
to
it's
that.
a problematic definition. Yes, precisely. Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't believe there's
Insert
any age
disgusting
of
comment
consent
here.
ever listed, Ursa May. Never. Not for boys or girls. There's no age of consent listed. Consent is not valuable in the Bible. Consent isn't something that's brought up.
It's just not a concept. It's like doesn't.
It's not a concept.
Yeah. Also, I'm not. Yeah. It's a very modern concept.
I can
We're talking
tell.
the last 50 years, even.
All right. Chapter 19. I love comments from Christians who just pop in, blind leading the blind. Oh, I'm sure, hot rodology, that you are a fluent Hebrew speaking Bible scholar. I'm positive of that with that name.
A
Okay.
doctor of theology, even.
All right. Chapter
I did want to make
19,
one comment about 1822.
You go right ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, Crystal, could I make one comment about 1822 before we move on?
Yes.
I think it's important to know that in the Hebrew, there's two verbs that are essential. The first is likvosh, and it's in the he-feel form, which is to cause to lie down. So there is an element of force, and if you look later in those texts in Deuteronomy where those ideas are discussed again, where lying by force is discussed, there's another verb that's added, machazik, which means to grab hold of, but that's not in the 1822. But there's an element of domination in the 1822 text, and then the other word in question is this toeva, or abomination. And I have an article, if people are interested, to demonstrate that an abomination is like the word huk, which we were talking about earlier, which is customary or something that is custom. In other words, not a statute for all time, but something that is reflective of a culture that is not transcendent, but from the culture, acknowledging that it is not. That it's a cultural abhorrence as opposed to a transcendent abhorrence. That makes
Can you
not that it makes
send
it better,
me that?
but it is. It certainly is. Yeah. Just send me a message asking for it because I won't.
Okay,
remember.
yeah,
I apologize.
I'd love to have that article. That would be great.
Yeah.
Because I have heard that about the. So, also, is this the verse that has the word mishkaveh in it? Is that the verse?
Yes, that's what I was saying. Likvosh. Yeah. So ishkave is a he feel causative, like one causes this person to lie down, as opposed to ladat, which is to know in the biblical sense. It's a clear distinction between causing to lie down and knowing in the biblical sense.
Gotcha. Actually, Rabbi Hannah speaks on this a lot, and that is even why I knew that word at all. what Bert is saying to you is this verse is saying that a man shall not force another man down.
as he does a woman.
As he does
Yeah,
a woman,
right.
which it was fine for him to hold a woman down and do that, especially if she was his wife, if she was his concubine. It was okay. Like, there was only certain times that you weren't supposed to grape a woman, but like the Bible never says you can't grape a widow, by the way. Okay, that's never a thing. So because remember, consent is not really a thing here. Okay, it's about property and property rights when it comes to women. So he's telling you don't do that, because when you do that, you lower their status, right? That's okay. Bert, thank you so much for being here. You guys, if you're not following Rab Kavad Zone, I don't know if I said that right. I never say anything right. Follow him. I lovingly call him Rabbi Bert because that's how I met him. But make sure you're following him. He's amazing. And thank you so much for being here. So you can't grape another man. You can't force another man. By the way, this is very, very important, because you're going to hear this a lot from both atheists and even some Christians will say that this verse says, man shall not lay with boy, and that was the original translation. That is not true, okay? The original Hebrew translation says, man shall not lay with male as with a woman, okay? And male, by the way, that word male there, it can mean any, like, it's speaking of humans, but it just is the word male. Like, it could mean a male goat for all you know, okay? So it's not, there's not an age attached to it. It's not saying young man or boy. It's literally saying man shall not lay with male.
So ewes are okay, but not rams.
Yeah. Okay.
A bad Scottish joke.
All right, you guys. We are going to finish up chapter 19 for the day, and then I will let you guys know when I'll be live again next. All right. They liked your joke. See, Elizabeth liked your joke. Ready? The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to all the congregation of the people of Israel, and say to them, you shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. You shall each revere your mother and father, and you shall keep my Sabbaths. I am the Lord your God. Do not turn to idols or make cast images for yourselves. I am the Lord your God. At any point, I will stop each paragraph, and if you guys have questions or commentaries at each paragraph, just let me know. So if you have anything on that, let me know.
Okay.
Hey, Joyful. You guys keep tapping that screen. I have been live for an hour and a half right now, and I know there's only 18 of you in here, but could we get that up over 10,000? Like, I should easily be at 10,000 by now. And also, I have a gift goal today. They are 99 coins each. I know not everybody can afford it, but send up whatever you can afford. Send it up to my panel. Anytime you give even a rose, it really helps push people out to the algorithm. And we want to support our creators who come out here and do this, whether it's me or any other creator. Make sure you're supporting them. Also, if you haven't subscribed, what are you doing with your life and your money? You're wasting it on Netflix, Hulu, and Pornhub. And corn is free. It's free on the interwebs. You don't even have to download anything special, okay? So cancel your subscriptions to Pornhub and Disney and Hulu and all of that, and then come over here, save yourself a little money, but subscribe to somebody like me. I bring you Non-Believers Bible Study, Decon Q&A with CrystalJae, and Conversations with Christians. So I bring you a lot more bang for your buck. All right. When you offer a sacrifice of well-being to the Lord, offer it in such a way that it is acceptable in your behalf. It shall be eaten on the same day you offer it, or on the next day. and anything left over until the third day shall be consumed in fire. If it is eaten at all on the third day, it is an abomination. It will not be acceptable. All who eat it shall be subject to punishment, because they have profaned what is holy to the Lord, and any such person shall be cut off from the people.
So they'll get
Well,
food poisoning.
yeah, exactly. They're going to get sick because we don't have refrigeration. So don't eat it on the third day. When you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not reap to the very edges of your field, or gather the gleanings of your harvest. You shall not strip your vineyard bare, or gather the fallen grapes of your vineyard. You shall leave them for the poor and the alien. I am the Lord your God.
Someone needs to come and pick all these apples. That's all I got to say.
You know, for Christians who always think that, you know, that the homeless people out there on the streets are just in their way and disgusting, and they should get a job and get a life. Their God said you're supposed to give them all your extra, okay? And in our modern day and time, this would be these large corporations who literally throw food in the dumpster rather than give it to the homeless. These would be these large textile companies who fill our landfills full of clothes every year instead of clothing the people who are in need. They're disgusting, every last one of them. They're greedy and disgusting. And
Now they
Christians
got the
don't live
freaking
by this book.
National Guard going after them in D.C. It's horrible.
Yeah,
Horrible. But
it
where are
is.
they supposed to go?
You shall not steal, you shall not deal falsely, and you shall not lie to one another, and you shall not swear falsely by my name, profaning the name of your God. I am the Lord. When Christians say you're not allowed to say, oh, Jesus Christ, God damn, and stuff like that because it's profaning the Lord, I have heard this talked about in several different ways. And the two ways that I see it is, one, you will not say that God told me to tell you this, but God didn't. That is profaning the Lord. But you also aren't supposed to profane the Lord by, I was thinking of the other way that somebody brought it up, and I can't think of it right now. There was another way, but it is not using
for them. You don't speak for them.
Right. So
You
that's what
can't
I'm
speak
saying.
for
Like, I
God.
can't come to you and say, oh, God wanted me to say a word to you, and I'm lying. Like, that is profaning the word. Saying God damn is not profaning the word of God.
And blasphemy is not what they say it is either. It's an actual, you threw a curse at God, and that's blasphemy. You know, what they're calling blasphemy, I don't know. It's more like maybe heresy, maybe, but it's not blasphemy biblically.
Right. Right. You shall not defraud. Oh, I know the other way. People say, when you say, I swear to God, that is the other way you profane, because like, if you're lying and you say it, but you still are lying, then that's profaning God, because you are saying that I'm telling the truth on God, I'm telling the truth, and then you lied. That would be profaning God.
Oh, your baptism is null and void now.
Yeah. Okay. Defraud your neighbor. You shall not steal, and you shall not keep yourself the wages of laborer until morning. You shall not revile the deaf, or put a stumbling block before the blind. You shall fear your God. I am the Lord. Now that's kind of funny, because if we take what Bert just told us, that laws were made because there was a reason to make the law, right? So this means people were just like being dicks to deaf and blind people, so they had to make a law about it.
Sounds like it.
It's horrible.
Well, didn't they think that they were disabled because they were sinful or something?
That's true. That's true.
Wow. Oh, the kind of like the what's it called in India? The oh, what do they call the people, the homeless people there? The destitute. Oh, I can't remember. The unclean or something like that. I don't remember. But it's really degrading and horrible, and it happens in all kinds of cultures.
You shall not render an unjust judgment. You shall not be partial to the poor or defer to the great. With justice you shall judge your neighbor. You shall not go around as a slanderer among your people, and you shall not profit by the blood of your neighbor. I am the Lord. I have profited from
Uh-oh. What happened?
no. I was a reseller, and so there's a lot of people who think it's a horrible thing to do to go to estate sales and buy dead people's stuff and then sell it for a profit. But the reality is, I was talking to a pastor of all people one time, and he said, it is ridiculous to assume that people, he's like, you don't do it because you're like, I'm going to profit off somebody's death. You do it because somebody died, they left stuff behind, their family needs money, so you're buying the stuff, and then you happen to make a profit, but you didn't go, I'm going to go profit. And he goes, no more do I think that when I go do a funeral service and they pay me for my service, do I say, oh, I'm going to go profit off somebody's death today, you know? And I was like,
And if you think about it, it's like recycling. We're reusing and recycling, and we're not adding to the burden on the planet.
It's true. I like too how it says, let's see. You shall not be partial to the poor or defer to the great. So first of all, poor and great are opposite. You can't be great and poor, I guess. Huh? Those are opposite things. But the other thing is, like, why can't I be partial to the poor? If I'm in a lawsuit and the lawsuit is about a large bank picking on a poor person, the fuck if I'm not going to side with the poor. But I will lie to get on that jury. I'm just kidding if you're listening.
Just kidding.
Just kidding.
FBI people, just kidding.
You shall not hate in your heart any one of your kin. You shall reprove your neighbor, or you will incur guilt yourself. You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against any of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord. Can't hold grudges.
Oops. I went and held a grudge. Oops.
You shall keep my statute. You shall not let your animals breed with a different kind. You shall not sow your field with two kinds of seed, nor shall you put on a garment made of two different materials. Has anybody ever looked up what the importance of that is? What is the importance of that? Why in Leviticus 19 were you not allowed to sow two different seeds or wear two different fabrics?
What is the reasoning behind that?
The prohibition against mixing different types of seeds or fabrics is interpreted as a symbolic representation of purity and separation. Oh, it's that supremacy culture shit again.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise,
Surprise, surprise. The law about seeds and fabrics is not meant to be a literal prohibition against all forms of mixing. Oh, yes, it is. Don't fuck with me. Instead, it is seen as a metaphor for maintaining purity in one's faith and avoiding the mixing of God's word with other religious ideas or practices. Purity and separation. The core idea is that God requires pure and separate people. All right, well, there you have it. It's that supremacy shit again.
In Leviticus. Knew it. Clocked
If
it.
a man has sexual relations with a woman who is a slave designated for another man, but not ransomed or given her freedom, an inquiry shall be held. They shall not be put to death, since she has not been freed, but he shall bring a guilt offering for himself to the Lord at the entrance of the tent of meeting, a ram as guilt offering, and the priest shall make atonement for him with the ram of guilt offering before the Lord for his sin that he committed, and the sin he committed shall be forgiven him. Well, good for him. I'm so glad we addressed what happens to him. When you come into the land and plant all kinds of trees for food, then you shall regard their fruit as forbidden. 3 years it shall be forbidden to you. It must not be eaten. In the 4th year, all their fruit shall be set apart for rejoicing in the Lord. But the 5th year you may eat of their fruit, that their yield may be increased for you. I am the Lord your God. That's just gardening practices. You don't want to eat fruit off a tree too early because it won't fruit as well until
Right?
it's older.
Hello.
So dumb. You should not eat anything with its blood. You guys, stop eating all the blood. Just stop it. You shall not practice augury or witchcraft. You shall not round off the hair on your temples or mar the edges of your beard. You shall not make any gashes in your flesh for the dead or tattoo any marks upon you. I am the Lord.
Oh, crap. I'm
Do
done
not
for.
turn Do not turn to mediums or wizards. Do not seek them out to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. You shall rise before the aged and defer to the old. Stand up, everybody. I'm old as fuck. Stand up.
Me too.
And you-
Stand up for both of us, you youngins.
And you shall fear your God. I am the Lord. I do not believe that just because somebody is older, you have to defer to them or that they deserve your respect. Respect is fucking
Absolutely not. You better get to know us before you start thinking that.
Yeah, get out of here. I am not an ageist, actually. I am not a respecter of age. I believe that there are young people who are fucking awesome and old people who are fucking awesome, and there are young assholes and old assholes. When an alien resides with you in your land, you shall not oppress the alien. The alien who resides with you shall be to you as a citizen among you. You shall love the alien as yourself, for you were aliens in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. I can't wait till aliens land here and we could use this on all the Christians.
Speaking of aliens, did you know that Byron wrote a story? I think it's called Heaven and Earth. I just read it in my dictionary about which angel was. It was one of the A angels, and he said that the A angel came down and snatched this very pious young woman up and moved her to another planet right before the flood. So
Oh, no,
Noah wasn't the only one. It's extra biblical, but I was laughing. I was like, "Oh, there's an alien. Okay, we're moving people around on planets now. All right."
And verses 35 through 37 to close up the chapter today. You shall not cheat in measuring length, weight, or quantity. Men, this is not 8 inches. Okay?
How did
You
I
shall.
know?
I went to the thumb on the scale, and where did you go? The other thumb.
You shall have honest balances, honest weights, and honest I'm sorry, I can't talk, and an honest hen. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt. You shall keep all my statutes and all my ordinances and observe them. I am the Lord. You guys, is the beautiful Bible that we read today. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why, but I still don't feel like bowing now. It's weird. It's really weird. It didn't change.
Yeah, nothing's changed for me.
Actually,
As a matter of
I'm
fact,
gonna go get a tattoo now.
I know.
I
kinda
do
did
need
too.
to, but I've needed that for a while. I need that raven on my right arm, and then I'll feel more balanced, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's all go
You
get
guys,
ink.
let's do it. Okay, you guys, let me tell you my schedule. What is coming up? I'm excited to tell you that tomorrow morning, right here, I will be live with the incomparable Schley for Conversations with Christians. We're going to come back. We're going to finish what we were talking about this week on Christians. What if you are wrong? I will be live from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. unless I meet my gift goal. Remember, if I meet my gift goal, we stay live for another hour. So that is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. All times are Pacific time. Then what I have coming up is, I have a little schedule here. Let's see. I need a calendar. That is what I need. Okay. So I need it by the month, please. How do I change the damn layout? All right, let's see. Friday the 15th. I have on Decon Q&A with CrystalJae at 4 p.m. Pacific time, the controversial compass. He is doing all the debates lately. If you haven't met Coco, this is a great time to come meet Coco and see what he's up to. He's got some amazing debates that he'll be hosting coming up, and it'll be great to get to know him. But the next one I'm so excited about, and I want you guys to go tell everybody, okay? Don't hold on to this secret. But Sunday, right after Atheist Sunday School, I am going to have Mama Bash right here on Decon Q&A with Crystal.
No.
Oh,
I
that's
love her.
Won't that be an amazing
That's
show?
Sunday
I'm
at what
so
time?
excited. At 11, well,
11?
like right after, it's around 11 a.m. Pacific time because we're going to do it like, we'll probably start at 11 a.m., but I know you guys might be at Atheist Sunday School. So just everybody come rate us when you're done, okay? Over at Mezzo's place.
That sounds
And then on September 3rd, I have Decon Q&A with CrystalJae, and I have a special event for that one. That is going to be my favorite panelists, Mac Lester, Fee, and Lortz. That is September 2nd at 3 p.m. So if you have seen any panels where Mac Lester, Fee, or Lortz is in, and you love them and you want to come talk to them, come hang out with us on September 2nd. On September 5th at 11 a.m., I have Deconstruction Zone Justin. I always want to call him Deconstruction Junction Justin. Deconstruction Zone Justin will be here live with me as well. I also have Joel coming pretty soon, and some Joyful will be here soon. I have so many people coming up, so make sure that you are subscribed, you like, you comment, you do all the good things. Make sure you're following me. I'm really excited. I think these are some fun shows coming up. Well, you guys, it's the end of the show here today. Is there somebody we should raid? Is there somebody on?
Oh, let me check.
Is Christina still on? We did a fluff raid of her earlier.
Christina is on. So is LG. And is that Kate?
I'll hang out with LG for a minute.
Let's whoever you raid, I'm gonna go raid Christina. Whoever
Okay.
you raid, just say CrystalJae raid. I love you guys. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow, Schley. I hope the rest of you will come back and join us at 10 a.m.